What's up, y'all? We back at it with another chapter of Dandadan Chapter 187, man. And I was happy to read this chapter. I was happy to see what happened at the end of this chapter. Although I still wanted more, I was still happy to see what we got. But hopefully we get a little bit more added on to it in the next chapter. Hopefully, fingers crossed. If you read the chapter already, you know what I'm talking about. But let's talk about Yuki. Her power is scary as hell. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not the biggest bug fan out there. I can't stand bugs, let alone flies. Flies annoy me the most. Honestly, if I had a weapon and a fly was around, everybody's in danger because I'm gonna try to hit the fly. And to see that that's her ability, nah, bruh. I couldn't do it. I have to surrender. I have to tell her, like, yo, whatever you want, I will do it. I'm sorry. I will be your slave forever. I cannot handle this type of power. It's just too much for me. That's how I would have been. But yo, we about to get into it, man. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for all notifications. The chapter starts off where you got all these flies flying all around the city. And you have it where it jumps to the PE teacher and he's carrying the other teacher in his arms, and you already know what time it is. He's like, yo, if you need money, I'll provide money for you. I got stocks, I got plenty of cash, I got money to blow. You already know he on demon time, and I'm just looking like, yo, wow, this dude is a straight up monster. Of course, the teacher, the female teacher, she's looking like she doesn't want to do it, but, she has no other choice. And that's when you see her use her power. It turns out that this teacher has the ability to summon the men that we seen face off against grandma, Momo's grandma in the previous chapter. So that's her ability. And you see all these soldiers pop up behind the PE teacher, and he look at him like, yo, I didn't ask anybody to take out the garbage, because he's referring to these guys as trash men, which is hilarious. The next thing you know, you see all these insects, all these flies surrounding these guys, and it looked like that might actually be a part of her power, or at least that's what the PE teacher was thinking. Then you have it where all these insects and flies start gathering around the PE teacher, as well as the basketball players within the PE room. And I'm telling you, yo, this is insane, creepy as hell. I definitely would not want to hang out with her just because of her powers. I'm sorry. Like, you know how they say don't treat a person different because of their abilities or because what they're born with? Yeah, I would definitely treat her differently. I would not hang out near her. The insects and all of that would have just been too much for me. But you got her where she's playing the piano. She has a smile on her face, and you find out that she has the power to make small living things obey her. So that might even be why the little pygmies were following her around and doing whatever she commanded, because of her ability. And it's more than what we assumed it was, just because they wanted to be her friend and seeing a similarity in her. It was more so she probably was using her power, subconsciously, and didn't even know it. But you see that she has the power of the fly over the flies, and you got this panel where it just looks so creepy, where all these flies are covering the PE teacher, and he's saying like, yo, they're getting into every possible opening on his body, which means, hey, yo, they were going through the ears, the nose, the mouth, the buttocks, like, like, yo, wherever he had a hole at, that's where the flies was. And when you think about that, that's kind of crazy and insane. And it had me to the point where I'm looking at the PE teacher like, yo, I wanted them to get payback on the dude, but this is a bit much. Like, that was a bit scary right there. But you got it where he's surrounded by these flies, and you got it where the female teacher is looking like, yo, what's happening to him? Like, she's unaware as well. But she uses this as an opportunity to, go into her scheme that she had planned this whole time that we were unaware of. But you have it where she pulls out one of those mini daggers, and she says like, yo, accept defeat and I'll spare your life. And you got it where he looks at her like, yo, this is you behind it. But we all know that she isn't behind it, because she's just behind the goons. She isn't behind the bugs. But you got it where he instantly grabs the blade and says he accepts defeat, and he gives off his power to her. Next thing you know, you got it where she acquires his power within this dagger, and she tries to help him from the bees, or not the bees, but from the flies. And she even asks her minions to help her as well. But before that can happen, he ends up disappearing, and they don't know where he went off to. He ends up teleporting to a whole nother location, and that's where he pops up inside of the PE room. And you find out that the men that he had, the headless men, they all disappeared once he gave up his power. And you got it where you know, he appears before them, and you got him looking at Ira and them like, yo, oh man, you guys are here in the PE room? That's crazy. What are you guys doing here in this time of hour? Yo, I was about to take a bath. You know, he's lying. He's trying to save himself. He's like, yo, I'm gonna go ahead and head home. You guys should hurry up and do the same. But of course, Ira is like, oh hell nah, you know what I'm saying, you pig bastard. And she started beating his A, and I'm so happy she doing it. And he's like, yo, you know what, I apologize. And he's like, yo, this ain't gonna look good for you either. And you got where Ira doesn't care. She's constantly kicking his ass, kicking him around, and he's like, okay, I'll delete the pictures, I'll get rid of all the pictures. And that's when Ira says something that I was really happy to hear her say, like, yo, oh nah, you got this all wrong. That's not what we want to hear. You know what I'm saying? All I want to hear is more so along the lines of, I'll be going off to the pen, the pig pen. So pretty much she's saying that he's going to jail because of what he's been doing. And I love the way the chapter ended with her giving him another kick to the face, sending him flying. And yeah, that jerk deserved every bit of it. He deserved everything he got to him. And I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling sorry for him with the whole bug thing, because I thought it was like, yo, man, that's got to be a fate worse than death, because I thought they were eating him and devouring him, but it turned out more so they was transporting him to the location of of Yuki, because she wanted him there, you know, so that they can stop the basketball or the headless men. So me seeing that, I was like, man, that's kind of crazy right there. That's a bit intense. But seeing that he survived, I feel like maybe he deserved a little bit more of a butt kicking. But the whole thing with the bugs, I was like, that's a bit much. That was intense as hell. But all in all, man, really enjoyed the chapter. Was very surprised to see that the teacher in the bunny outfit was actually behind the attack on, you know what I'm saying, on grandma. Now, they could have mentioned that before, and maybe I just forgot, but for me, I feel like this is the first time we've seen her actually with these minions that we weren't aware of. Now, I'm very curious about the bull that was with her men. Did she actually use her power to make him come to be, or was he with someone that just teamed up with her to acquire the power of Granny? I'm very curious about that. Maybe we'll find out in the future. But I'm pretty sure in the next chapter they're going to show your boy Kenta as well as Okarun face off against the two people they were fighting in chapter, what was it, 3 chapters ago, that we seen at the start of this whole PE venture. So we'll probably get that in the next chapter. But all in all, solid. I'll say I give this chapter about, I give this a 10 out of 10, just because we got to see the PE teacher get his just desserts. Well, let me know your thoughts down below, man. And if you like this video, thumb it up, please subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications, and I will definitely catch y'all in the next one, man. It's your boy Nero Megaman signing out. Peace.